It's not what you did then. It's what you do next. What are you doing right now? I feel like a lot of people don't show the back end of a business. They don't show the back end of something making it happen. And that's exactly what I want to continue to express to you guys and show you guys what happens in the back end, what we go through. Quick story before I make this next call is we just refinanced one of our properties. This property we refinanced, we bought this property 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we needed $40,000 to close on this house. We didn't have the $40,000. We actually went and got a private money lender. This guy had already funded some of our deals. I know Ben has talked about him before. He already had funded some of our deals. However, 2 days before closing, the lender backed out. When the lender backed out, Ben and I panicked. We didn't know what to do. We knew one thing though. We knew we had to buy this property because we had bought this property for $300,000. We had got it under contract for $300,000 and it already had came back appraised at $380,000. The lender had made us order an appraisal, so we were out some money already. And the biggest thing is we were committed to buying the deal. We were committed to buying the deal. We went and we found $40,000. We found $20,000 from somebody. We found $20,000 from somebody else. They invested. They were getting 10% interest on this. Our payment at the time was $4,200 on that property. $4,200. It's a lot of money. $4,200. Our private money lenders were like $250 or $300. No, one was $250. The other one was $500. We closed on the property. It was a fix and flip. We fix it up. We run out of money. We put $80,000 into it. We run out of money. And as we're going through this process, we start continuously putting money throughout the time. A flip that was supposed to take us 2 months ended up taking us, I would say, over a year. And until finally we ended up moving into that house. And 3 years later, we refinanced it. Last week, we closed on this property. We cashed out $200,000 on an equity refinance, tax-free. So you guys got to understand, like, now somebody, and I was going to post this and I just haven't had a chance to, but like in somebody's mind, someone sees that guy's $200,000. That's a lot of money, but it's really not a lot of money. That's just a reality. It's just leverage. It's leverage. How do we leverage this? And this is where they talk about in real estate, there's 3 ways to make money: fix and flip, wholesaling, buy and hold. When you're in the buy and hold game, it's a longevity play, but people don't understand what we went through in these last 3 years to sustain that property, to figure it out, to get ready for our true exit of the property. How are we going to exit? How are we going to move that money to make sure it supports itself? And then we continue to hold it. What do we know? In the next 5 years, what is that property worth? What are we able to do with that property? So it's a long game. It's part of the process. Now you get in here and people make it look like it happened overnight. It's the micro things. It's these calls. It's the over and over, the repetition, and the more that you do, the more that you do, the stacks, the little stacks, and you just keep stacking this. But what happens is you start getting discouraged throughout the process because life gets hard. Regardless of what's happening in your life, in your personal life, in your professional life, at home, with your family, like at the end of the day, it's up to you to show up for yourself. Nobody's going to care about you. No one's going to care if you have to pay a bill. Nobody's going to care if you feel sick. Nobody's going to care if you're sad. Nobody's going to care if you're feeling down. Like, it's up to you to continuously deliver. And you have to understand that life has its seasons. There's seasons where something will happen and you probably think it's the worst time of your life. It's the worst thing ever. However, it's how you pivot from that. It's the perception that you take from that and how you keep moving forward. What do you do next? It's not what you did then. It's what you do next. What are you doing right now to overcome? Going back to this example of the ranch, is our lender, we were broken at that moment, but we were committed to buying that house. And because our commitment, we went out there and we figured it out. And this goes for anything. Whatever you are trying to do, go all in with a positive attitude, with a positive mind. When you call a deal, I'm going to close this deal. When you buy a fix and flip, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to spend every single dollar. When you go into a mastermind or to an event, I'm going to scrape up this money just to go to this event. I want to be in the room. I want to learn. So you continuously go all in and God will do the rest. But you got to be committed, and you have to learn and recognize that these seasons, there are seasons in your life where you think it was the worst time of your life. And guess what? You overcome it. And you continue to get better, and you continue to get better, because at the end of the day, guys, if you don't do it for yourself, nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to put in the work. You got to learn to respect the process in everything, not just in business, in every aspect of your life. Whether you're going to the gym and you're working out every day, respect the process. Keep showing up. Even when you're not getting the results you want, keep showing up. Keep showing up, because through that process, you're going to learn. You're going to continuously pivot. And remember, you can't fail if you don't give up.